Zelensky is defiant as Ukraine declares that nearly 40,000 Russians have been killed since the start of the war. On the 151st day of the war, President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed confidence in Ukraine's future victory, while the Ukrainian army claimed the number of Russian soldiers killed since the invasion began on the 24th of February was approaching 40,000, figures not confirmed by Moscow. 5 months. After 8 years, the Ukrainian president wrote on his Telegram channel on Sunday, referring to Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. The war has not broken Ukraine and will not break it. It did not and will not end life in our country. And it will definitely not make us hostages to the terror that the invaders have brought to our country. We will not obey. We will persevere. We will defend what is ours. We will be victorious. The Ukrainian army echoed the president's words on Sunday, announcing that the Ukrainian artillery has the best specialists in landscaping, and that the daily statistics on enemy casualties are proof of that. We will win, they concluded their update on Facebook. As of the 24th of July, the Ukrainian army says it has killed a total of 39,520 Russian soldiers and destroyed over 1,700 tanks and nearly 4,000 armored personnel carriers. According to the Ukrainian army, the Russians suffered the greatest losses in the Kramatorsk region in eastern Ukraine. The number of Russian soldiers killed cited by the Ukrainian army is consistent with NATO figures from late March, when the alliance estimated that up to 40,000 Russian soldiers have been killed, wounded, captured or missing in Ukraine since the war began. However, it is difficult to confirm these figures, as Moscow does not often communicate the number of soldiers killed. Most recently, Moscow announced on the 25th of March that 1,351 Russian soldiers had been killed since the 24th of February. The same difficulty exists with Ukrainian figures, as Ukraine also does not provide information on the number of its soldiers killed. Newsweek has asked the defense ministries of Ukraine and Russia for comment. The situation on the ground in Ukraine is just as murky and possibly less promising than the Ukrainian president's assurances suggest. On Saturday, just hours after representatives of Ukraine and Russia signed an agreement to move blockaded Ukrainian grain to world markets, the port of Odessa was hit by Russian missiles, an attack condemned by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. In areas occupied by Moscow troops, Russian authorities are preparing referendums on the incorporation of these territories into the Russian Federation, according to the latest report by the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, a U.S. think tank. According to the ISW, Russian troops have continued to carry out limited ground attacks northwest of Sloyansk in the Donetsk region since Sunday. On the other hand, Ukrainian troops continue their counteroffensive against the Russian attackers. ISW reports that Ukrainian forces have likely been preparing or have already launched a counteroffensive in Kherson region since the 23rd of July, although the institute states that open information on the progress and pace of the counteroffensive is likely limited and lagging behind events.